You showed up earlier than usual, sat 2 seats ahead of me. The sunlight kept shifting slowly, landing somewhere I could see. You didn't turn around or notice, still I stayed a little late, pretending I had something to finish, just to leave at the same time as you. We walked in the same direction, not close but not that far. Your steps always just ahead of mine, like I knew exactly where you were. You said something about nothing, I don't even recall. Just the way you paused mid-sentence, like it mattered after all. It never really started, so it never had to end. Just a quiet kind of feeling that I didn't understand then. No one else could see it, no one else would know how something so small stayed with me long after you let go. There was a day I almost told you, but the timing felt off. You were laughing with somebody, and I didn't want to interrupt. So I kept it where it was, somewhere I could reach. Not close enough to lose it, not far enough to leave. I don't think about it often, but it comes back the same. In the middle of nothing special, without a reason or a name. You probably forgot it, I never saw it that way, but it stayed like that moment that never really changed. We slowed down near the crossing, though the light was still the same. You looked like you were waiting, but didn't say my name. Cars passed without a pattern, just noise we didn't need. I thought about the silence and what it might mean. You asked me something simple, I answered just enough. There was space between the words where it almost turned to us. I felt it getting closer, then slipped back out again, like something at the surface that never quite begins. I almost said it out loud, but I let it stay inside. Didn't know what would change if I crossed that line. Maybe it was better to leave it where it stood. Something just about to happen, but never really could. You watched the signal change, but didn't start to move, like there was still a second we didn't want to lose. just stood there quiet and let the moment pass. We walked again like nothing, fell back into the same. But something felt different, even if it stayed unnamed. I still think about that second, like it could have been enough. Just standing there beside you, almost turning into us. We ended up in the same place without deciding to. Chairs a little too close, but neither of us moved. You leaned in just slightly to show me something small. I didn't really see it, just noticed how you called. Time moved without pressure, no one checked the hour. The space felt different somehow, like it had more to it now. You didn't pull away quickly when our shoulders touched, just stayed there like it happened, and that was reason enough. We stayed a little longer than we needed to. No one said to leave yet, so neither of us moved. Nothing made it obvious, nothing we could prove, just something in the silence we both already knew. There was a pause between us that didn't feel unsure, like something had settled without asking for more. I thought about that moment on the way back home, how it felt so natural not being alone. We didn't change direction, didn't cross a line, just let it stay between us without defining why. And maybe that's the reason it stayed the way it does. Something just beginning without becoming us. You looked like you had something, but let it pass instead. The words stayed right between us, but never fully said. I waited for a moment that didn't come around, just small unfinished sentences that never made a sound. We sat a little closer, but talked a little less, like everything was clearer, but harder to express. You smiled like you knew it, then looked the other way. I thought you might say something, but let it fade again. It felt like the right feeling, just not the right time. Everything was there, but never crossed the line. No one tried to stop it, no one pushed it through. Just something almost certain that neither of us chose. There was a space between us that used to feel unknown. Now it felt too obvious, but still we left it alone. I thought if I stayed longer, it might begin to change, but we kept it where it was and let it stay that way. You said maybe tomorrow, like it was understood, but something in the timing just never felt quite good. So didn't have to say it. I felt it way before, in the way you stayed a little when you could've walked out the door. It wasn't something sudden, nothing loud or new, just something I kept noticing every time I looked at you. We stopped pretending not to, but didn't make it clear. No one said the words out loud, but they were already here. You held the moment longer, like you didn't want it gone. I think we both were waiting, but knew it all along. I knew it already, before it had a name, before it turned into something we could try to explain. It wasn't just a feeling that comes and goes again, stayed the same around you, no matter where we've been. There were days it felt so certain, like nothing could go wrong, and others where we left it like we were holding on. But even in the distance, it never really moved, just stayed the way it started whenever I was with you. We never tried to define it, never needed to. It lived in every moment I spent next to you. And even if we lost it or let it slip away, I knew it was real in the quiet way it stayed. We said we'd keep it easy, not make a big deal out of it. Just meet up when we felt like it and leave it at that. You laughed when you said it, like it would actually work, and nodded like I meant it, but I already knew. You started calling me late, just to talk about nothing, like what you had for dinner or how your day went. I'd say I was busy, then stay on the line, walking home in circles just to buy more time. We said we'd keep it simple, but it never really stayed. Every little moment started feeling like it meant something. I tried not to think too much, but it kept coming back. The way you say my name, like it's more than that. There was a night you almost said it, then changed the way it went. Talked about something random, like you didn't mean it. I didn't call you out, just let it slide again, but it stayed in my head long after it ended. We said we'd keep it easy, but it's already gone, past the point of leaving without it feeling wrong. I don't know what you're thinking, and I won't ask you to, but it's getting harder to act like we're just two. You used to reply faster, even when you were out. Now I watch the timestamp change without a sound. I tell myself you're busy, that it's nothing new, but I still check my phone more than I used to. We don't call as often, just text here and there. You say you're getting tired, so we leave it there. I type something longer, then delete it all. Send something shorter, like it doesn't matter at all. Something's a little different. I felt it before I knew. Nothing I can point at, just the way it moves. We don't talk the same now, but we never said why. Just let it get quieter, night after night. I saw your name light up, then disappear again, like you changed your mind before you hit send. I almost asked about it, then let it go instead. I'm getting good at silence, you're getting hard to read. You used to stay longer, even when it got late. Now we end it early, like there's nothing left to say. I don't think you meant to, but I feel it every time. Something slowly slipping right in front of my eyes. We didn't have a last talk. Now this is it or goodbye. Just fewer calls each night, then none at all. I kept your name pinned for longer than I should have. Opened the chat a few times, then closed it again. You stopped sending those late texts, I stopped waiting up. We both had chances to say something, we just didn't. No one did anything wrong, that's the part that stays. It just got quieter until it was gone. We both stopped trying, that's what it was. Not a fight, not a reason, just not enough. Nothing left to fix, nothing left to say. We let it in like that and walked away. I thought about calling just to hear your voice, then realized I didn't even know what I'd say anymore. You used to be the first thing I'd reach for at night. Now I don't even check if you're online. It didn't break all at once, just faded out slow, like something we forgot we were supposed to hold. We both stopped trying, and that was enough to turn what we had into something that was. I still have your number, though I don't use it now. It just sits in my phone, like it always has. Your name shows up sometimes when I scroll too fast. I don't stop on it, but I don't skip it that quick. I pass by that corner we used to walk through. Nothing really happens, but I notice it too. There's a song you played once, I don't turn it off. Just let it keep going, like it's not about us. You're still here somehow, in small things I don't choose. Not in a way that hurts, just something I don't lose. It doesn't pull me just shows up for a second, then fades away. I don't check your profile like I used to before. I don't wonder where you are or who you're with anymore. But every now and then, without trying to, something reminds me of when I knew you. You're not really gone, just not around, in a way that's quiet and barely makes a sound. Still here somehow, but not like before. Just pieces that stayed when you walked out the door. I took a different route today, but somehow ended up there. Same narrow road, same corner store. Nothing really changed. I slowed down without thinking, like I used to do back when I had a reason to notice every detail. There's still a light in that window, second floor on the left. I don't know who lives there now, but I remember when you did. We stood outside one evening, arguing about something small. I can't recall the words anymore, just how long we stayed. I don't feel it like before. It's not that kind of thing, just moments coming back without asking me. I kept walking past it, didn't stop this time. Just let it be what it is and left it behind. There was a cafe near the corner we went to more than once. I almost walked inside just to see if it felt the same, but I already knew it wouldn't, so I kept moving on. Some things don't need revisiting to know they're gone. It's strange what stays with you, not the big parts, just the way the street looked when it started getting dark, and how everything felt normal, like it would stay that way, before it slowly turned into something you don't keep. I didn't stop or turn around, just walk like anyone would. No reason to go back now, even if I could. Ran into your street again, that's all it was, just somewhere I passed through on the way to somewhere else. I started going out more, to places I didn't before, not for any reason, just didn't stay in as much. There was a night last weekend, I thought I saw someone, same height, same way of walking, but I didn't look twice. My friends talk over each other, I'm not alone, just enough. Someone mentions your old area like it's nothing at all. I don't ask any questions, I don't need to know, but I catch myself listening just a second too long. We might have crossed paths and just didn't see. Same night, same street, same kind of evening. It wouldn't mean anything, it wouldn't change a thing. Just two people walking through the same city. don't go out of my way to end up where you are, but sometimes it happens without trying at all. I've learned not to follow it, not to read too much, but there's something about it that stays for a bit. We might have crossed paths and never even knew. Nothing really happened like it usually does. Just a thought that lingers, then fades out again, like most things do in the end. Someone said your name in passing, like it didn't mean much. Just part of another story that wasn't really about you. They said you were there last weekend, same place I was. I didn't react to it, just let it go like it was nothing. But it stayed longer than it should have. That one small detail, like something slightly off that I couldn't place right away. I remember where I stood, near the back, close to the door. You always liked the side better, said it was easier to leave. There was someone wearing your jacket, or something close to it. I noticed for a second, then looked away too fast. I didn't try to check again, didn't wanna be wrong, or maybe didn't wanna be right, I'm not sure which one. I stayed a little longer than usual, no real reason for it. Just kept scanning the room without making it obvious. People came and left like they always do. Nothing really happened, nothing ever does. But it felt different that night, like I missed something small that was right there and didn't wait. It's strange how close things get without actually happening. Same place, same time, just not at the same moment. You were there that night, I'm almost sure of it. Not enough to prove anything, but enough to stay in my head. We were in the same room and still nothing crossed. Just another version of us that didn't happen. I saw someone cross the street, just off to the side of my view. Same pace, same shoulders, the way you used to walk. The light was about to change, people moving past me. I could have slowed down a second, but I didn't. You had this way of holding things like you weren't in a hurry. This felt almost the same, or close enough to be. I thought about checking, just turning to be sure. But something about it felt easier to leave alone. I mean, it probably wasn't you, just someone with the same jacket, same way of walking. And I was already tired, and it was getting late. And even if it was, what would I do? Call your name from across the street like nothing changed? It didn't make sense, so I just kept going. I kept walking straight ahead, like it wasn't anything, like I didn't notice, like it didn't matter. But a few steps later, I slowed down without meaning to, like I missed something small. I couldn't go back for. I didn't turn around, and that was enough to leave it somewhere in between what happened and what didn't. Maybe it wasn't you, maybe it never was, but it stayed with me longer than it should have. It happened without warning, just turning at the same time. You were right there, closer than I expected. No one else between us, no distance to explain it. Just that second where it was clear you looked exactly the same, or maybe just enough. I didn't try to figure it out. I knew it was you. We didn't say anything, didn't need to check twice. It wasn't like before, but it wasn't nothing. I thought I'd say something if it ever came to this, but standing there like that, nothing really made sense. There wasn't a right way to start again from there, so we both stayed quiet, like we understood it. People kept moving around us like it didn't matter, like this wasn't the moment I thought it would be. I almost smiled, just out of habit, but stopped halfway and let it pass. We looked at each other, and that was all. No words, no reason, nothing to hold on to. Just a second that stayed longer than it should, before we both moved on, like we knew we would. I kept walking after that, like nothing really happened. Same pace, same direction, just a little quieter. I didn't turn around, didn't check behind me, just stayed with the moment for a few more steps. There wasn't anything to follow, nothing left to see, just the sound of everything else going on around me. It didn't feel like much while it was happening, just a look, a second, then it was gone. But something about it didn't leave right away. It stayed in the background, like it was waiting, like I hadn't caught up yet to what it really was, just moving through it without stopping once. It hit me after, when I was already gone, that it was really you, and we didn't say a word. Nothing left between us, nothing to go back to, just that one moment that passed right through. It didn't stay long, but it stayed enough to make it feel real. Once I thought about it, I thought I'd feel something bigger if if I ever saw you again, like it would change something or bring something back. But it didn't work like that. It stayed where it was, just quiet and simple, and already over. Not something I could hold on to, not something I could lose. Just there for a second, and back out of view. It hit me after, not right when it happened, just somewhere in between getting home and forgetting. I thought about it briefly, then let it settle down, like most things do when no one's around. And now it sits there like it always will, not heavy, not gone, just there for a bit. I don't think about it much, not the way I used to. It doesn't show up in the middle of the day. Nothing really triggers it, no places, no songs, just a few quiet moments, and even those pass. I start checking things without noticing when it just became something I don't do anymore. Your name comes up sometimes in ways I don't expect, but it doesn't land the way it did before. I remember enough to know it was there, but not enough to feel anything from it. Like something I watched once and don't replay, just part of a time that moved on its own. There's nothing to fix now, nothing to go back to. It ended where it did, and that's where it stays. I don't try to hold it, don't try to forget it. It just doesn't stay like it used to. It doesn't stay anymore, not in any real way. Just something that was there and isn't now. And that's all it is, nothing more than that. Just a part of something that already passed. It was just a second, nothing stayed long enough to call it anything. I heard your name earlier in the conversation I wasn't part of. Someone said it casually and moved on right after. I didn't react to it, just let it pass through, like I do with most things that don't belong to me. There was a moment later when it came back again, not strong, not sudden, just there for a bit. I tried to place it somewhere, but it didn't really fit. to anything current, so I left it alone. It didn't change my pace or the way the day went, just a small interruption that fixed itself like something unfinished that doesn't need closing, just there for a second, then out of it again. I don't think it means anything, not in the way it used to, just a name, a sound that I recognize still. No pull behind it, no reason to follow, just something that happens once in a while. For a second, that was it, nothing more than that. It came and went without asking, and I let it go the same way it came, without trying to keep it or figure it out. It's not something I think about, not really. There was a time it mattered in ways I didn't question. It just fit into everything like it was supposed to. I don't look at it like that now. It's harder to place, just something that was there for a while. I don't try to remember it, and I don't avoid it either. It doesn't come up enough to mean anything. If someone asked about it, I'd probably just shrug, say it happened once, and leave it there. There's no version of it now that I carry around, no part I go back to or try to understand. It stayed where it ended, didn't follow me out, just something that closed on its own. It happened, that's all, nothing left from it now, not in a way that stays, just a part of something that moved on the same way everything does.